So yeah, it's been a while. Thank you. It's been a while since we've hung out and had a good time. Uh, B is back. Yay! Yay! Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna goof off. So yeah, we would have had a live show last night. However, I was at a baseball game and it was hot dog race night. So they were giving out hats to the people as you were coming into the gate. So you had Team Mustard,
Yes.
and then there's the Orioles hot dog there,
Oh my,
and then there was Team Relish, and then I had Team Ketchup.
oh my gosh. I love how
Yeah,
there were three teams. Like there weren't just
yeah,
two. You know what happened? Is someone had a meeting somewhere and they're like, we're gonna do ketchup versus mustard. And you know someone in there was like, no, you have to do relish and just
yeah.
completely ruined the whole
Oh
vision.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So well, all the hot dog races are always between the three.
Oh,
Um, yeah. So this is the Baltimore Orioles, and so they have they have a hot dog that has like a mustard mustache. They have a ketchup hot dog, and then they have the relish hot dog. And then when they were playing the Washington Nationals a few months back, they had a mascot race between the three hot dogs and then like Teddy Roosevelt, Abraham Lincoln, and George Washington from the Washington Nationals, which I was like, that is amazing. And I think one of the of course it was at the Nationals Park. So like I think like Roosevelt or Washington won it, but yeah. Yeah.
crazy. You know, I think there's a level of camp in
Yes.
baseball that you don't get in other sports. Like
Agreed.
hockey has it in its own way, but I feel like if you were to ever tell a hockey fan that it's campy, they would get very upset with you.
Oh, absolutely.
But like football isn't like a fun environment, if that makes sense at all.
I get what you mean. I get
Like
what you
you don't have
mean.
like fun games, like you don't have like silly
Yeah.
jokes.
Yeah. I mean, if you really want silliness in baseball, like minor league baseball is the way to go because it's like, you know what that means? If he strikes out, everyone in the stadium gets a donut. And you're like, oh, I hope this guy strikes out. Like,
One of my so here's some lore, guys. Here's some
okay, some B lore.
So I partially grew up in Savannah, Georgia,
Okay,
and you can probably tell where this is going. Um,
bananas.
so before the Savannah Bananas, they were the Savannah Sand Gnats.
I remember that. Yeah.
And so we used to go to Sand Gnats games when I was a kid when my dad had visitation. And then I remember
Hmm.
when they went away, I was so sad. And next thing I know, they're being, they were bought and all of a sudden they're back, but they're not the Sand Gnats, they're the Bananas. But one thing that'll always stick with me is I was at a game once. And of course, like I loved it because there were fireworks and you'd get
Oh
like that
yeah.
ice cream and like the baseball cap
Oh yes, the baseball
cup
cap ice
thing.
cream. Yep.
And the pitcher, and I think it was for the other team, his contact fell out in the middle of the game. And he picked it up and put it back in his eye.
Oh, that's awful. How do you delay that game? Pitcher lost the contact.
Like, as someone who like wears contacts, like sometimes, I'm
Yeah.
like, if it drops on the sink, I'm not touching it. Like, it's
Hmm.
done. That
Oh yeah.
contact is dead to me.
100%. I could see the pitcher now like squinting, like as he's like trying to pitch.
He didn't look like he was in pain, and I wanted to be like, dude, this is minor league. Like, are you making what, like $10,000 a year doing this? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Now they get paid a little bit more, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
well, I want to talk. We have to talk about lit RPG con stuff real quick. Okay.
That is perfectly fine. I was actually going to suggest that we do talk about that. And if we get people in, cool. If, go for it.
So, first of all, I feel like this thing must have just started because, like,
I think it's its second year.
second year, like, it came
Yeah.
new. And from what I could tell, it sounds like Matt Dinniman's trying to recreate like Nexus essentially,
Hmm.
but isn't quite doesn't quite have like the fan base yet to make something centered around him because everything
Yeah.
I've seen is just him. And it seems
Yeah.
very much like his convention. But it's weird because people are talking about it this year, like it's on the same level as like Comic Con.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this thing just it's new. I doubt it's that big.
No.
But we have to talk about, and everyone for some context, I sent this in a DM to Eric because I'm like, he's gonna he's gonna get me. And so of course there's only one character the people at this convention can cosplay as. Because from what I could tell, no women are there.
No, there's there's
No,
there's women. There's women. I've seen Instagram posts, but yeah, I get
I've
what you
seen
mean.
like one woman and you know who it is.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh God. Yeah. We don't talk about that one.
we don't talk about her.
Yeah.
But it's just like, so you have a convention. I don't know how many people are there. You just have like hundreds of men walking around barefoot
In
at a
heart boxers.
convention in hard boxers. And I'm like, and I'm seeing a thing, and people are saying, like, next year, this rule is going to pop. And people are responding and being like, well, how do you know they're not wearing soulless shoes? And I'm like, because most men who are going to this thing are just finding boxers and walking around barefoot. Like, these are not people who cosplay. Carl is like the easiest cosplay ever for these guys.
It really is.
And it's just dudes who want to walk around barefoot in their underwear.
Because they do it at home, so they figure they can do it at a convention.
And there was this guy at Nexus who was dressed up like a Colossus. So he covered his body in blue body paint
Oh wow.
and was wearing like a loincloth and nothing else.
Mm,
I don't think he was wearing anything under the loincloth.
hmm.
Um, and I physically recoiled because he was coming down an escalator, and I'm like, don't get too close, don't look up. I do not want to know if this man is wearing anything under his loincloth. And the funny thing I realized later is this guy posted a roundup from, and I didn't see him again the rest of the convention. It wouldn't surprise me if they kicked him out. Like,
Yeah.
but he wound up being a guy who threw like tantrums in my comments, trying to like
Hmm.
fact check jokes,
Oh jeez.
and generally does that to like other creators as like an I know more than you. And his idea of like
Jeez.
entertaining content is like standing in a lab coat while speaking in monotone. And I'm like, oh, but something about me, something, and maybe this is a toxic trait, kind of
Yeah.
loved knowing that this person who like I don't like was grossing people out.
Fair.
And I asked around to other people, I'm like, did you see this guy? And no one else did. So the only thing I can think of is they kicked him out because while I'm
Probably.
assuming, like cosplay, like they're pretty like chill with, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I could see part of this dude's butt. Like,
Yeah. That's the that's like there used to be a guy at Baltimore Comic Con that would dress as Tarzan and just wear a loincloth. Just like going around. And I ran into him a couple of times and I was just like, okay, like go in that direction now. Like I get it. I get it. I get
yeah, I
it.
saw one and they said there's two cosplays that like are like the worst people you know or you'll meet at a convention are wearing these two. And I clicked the comments because like I want the tea, right?
Hmm.
Somehow my threads feed is just like a bunch of drama in the cosplay community. And I like it because I don't know any of these people, but now I'm invested.
Yeah.
And they said Harley Quinn and Deadpool. They said something about putting on a Deadpool costume just gives these guys permission to be the world's biggest jerk.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, yeah. Deadpool just allows people just to like run around and just act like assholes. Harley not as much, mostly Deadpool, but yeah, it's pretty bad. Whenever I see a line of Deadpools, I go the opposite direction because I just don't want to deal with that shit.
Yeah, and
So,
people were mentioning, like, is there a certain level of like consent when it comes to cosplay?
well, cosplay does not equal consent.
Yeah.
A lot of conventions have those posters now, but I get what you're saying too, because like, yeah, some people think that somebody's dressed a certain way that means that they're available for that. Where like Jess, my friend Jess, she dresses as Xena, and people are like, "Oh my god, you're as hot as Lucy Lawless," and Jess is like, "Yeah, okay, thanks. Not interested. Thank you." Like,
Yeah, well, and it was kind of from the other end, like people who are
yeah,
Deadpool
yeah,
will go after like anyone, and that was kind of the thing of like just
yeah.
because you're in cosplay doesn't mean other people are consenting to like participate in your behavior.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I have seen a lot of people act that way at conventions before, especially ones dressed as Deadpool, because they think that they can just get away with it. Because number one, they're wearing a mask, so you're not seeing their face. It's interesting how people that dress as masked characters or cosplay as masked characters at conventions try to get away with all of this crap because they feel like they're kind of protected behind that. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
So
kind of nervous, not with like how people are going to react, but
yeah.
one of the cosplays I'm doing for Nexus in December involves like a half mask. And I'm still
Mm-hmm.
trying to decide if I'm going to wear it or if I'm gonna like put it on the top of my head. It's not completely canonically accurate. I don't care. Um,
How dare you?
but like I'm not gonna spend my life just like making an intricate mask. It's not gonna work. But
I
then I also figured I'm like, if I feel like I need to hide at any point, I can just put this thing on.
That is true.
But
That
I'm
is
like,
true.
are people gonna think I'm weird? Not weird, but like sketchy if I'm wearing a mask.
No, not necessarily. I mean, I wouldn't say so. I mean, as long as you, I'm just saying you in general, like behave like a decent human being, they're not going to feel sketchy about it. Like some people may be a little uneasy because, masks creep people out, like some people, but yeah, I mean, you wouldn't be sketchy. I mean, my wife's cousin dresses in a um scream mask all the time, but he's like one of the nicest people. He'll just walk up to you and be like, "Hi," like in the scream mask, and we're like, "Oh, hi, how are you?" And he's like, "Hey, it's me," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I figured."
You haven't figured the scream mask guy is someone you know by now. How many people do you know who just walk around wearing scream masks?
Just him mostly, but yeah. But yeah, I get it. Like, there was a guy that was dressed in a Helldiver costume at one of the cons I was at, and he was like one of the nicest people, and he's like full helmet, everything, like just super nice. He's like, "Yeah, for Super Earth." I'm like, "All right, like, move along."
Yeah, I asked someone at Nexus who had like really intricate costumes for every day. I'm like, how did you get this stuff here? And I found out that a lot of people drive ridiculous
Yeah,
distances to carry this stuff in their car. Or this guy said that him and his wife checked 3 suitcases.
yeah.
And I'm like, that is dedication. I talked to someone who brought in a spaceship. And I'm like, you live in Nashville. How did you get that to Salt Lake City? And she told me, she's like, well, we drove and we cut it into little pieces and we assembled it when we were there.
Was it the M bot?
Yes,
Okay, that's
it was
awesome.
MBOT. And she showed me the pictures and she said that they went there and the staff were like so excited over it. They're like, "Can we have this?" And they said yes, so they didn't even have to bring it home.
But there you go. There you go. I mean, I know some people sometimes ship their stuff to themselves too, like for conventions too, like costume pieces. I honestly don't trust that, to be honest, because I'd rather have an eye on it. But yeah, this is why I could never do like San Diego Comic Con and cosplay. Like flying 6 hours over there and then having these intricate pieces. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I was worried enough my suitcase was going to get lost on the plane,
fair. As somebody that has handled suitcases in the past, duly noted.
but I've luckily never had anything lost yet. But
Knock on
I'm also
wood.
the type of person where like I'm flying out on Tuesday when it starts on Thursday,
Oh yeah, giving yourself plenty of time and all that
especially
stuff.
because I'm always worried there's going to be a storm and I'm going to get stranded somewhere.
Yep. You see, you are a good traveler because you plan ahead for stuff like that. I know that like my wife and I do the same thing. Like we plan ahead for stuff like that. Like especially like if you're going on a cruise, like just
Mm.
fly down the night before or 2 days before, get a hotel and relax. Like and then you're doing that with Nexus, so like flying a couple of days before.
Although it's funny because my flight is going from Connecticut to Philly.
Oh jeez.
And then I have like a 4 hour layover in Philly. But all the
Oh
other flights had like 45-minute layovers, and I'm like, absolutely not. In the winter, nope, I'm missing that flight.
yeah. Yeah. At least with a 4 hour layover you have options too. Yeah.
Yeah. Have something to eat,
Oh yeah.
maybe if I'm working remotely that day, get a bunch of work done.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I think that the no shoes Carl's, because
I
I
agree.
saw that Matt Dinneman has a rule now on his website and on all of his signings that he will not sign people's feet. And I'm like,
Ugh.
how many times did that have to happen
Yeah.
before he made that rule?
I'm pretty sure like the first couple of times he probably laughed it off. And then like, yeah.
Because people, I'm assuming, would probably get tattooed or, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm trying to imagine trying to, like, thinking that's a good idea. And I don't know if people are serious about it or if they're just trying to victimize him. But I'm like, that is weird and kind of explains why he's afraid of his fan base.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. I'm good. Like, Um yeah, no, hopefully they do change that rule next year and be like, you have to have shoes on. Or at least Crocs, because he's wearing Crocs at one point in the book.
Mhm.
Carl. In Dungeon Crawler Carl. He's wearing Crocs that are too small for his feet, but he's still wearing Crocs. So
Well, and with the soulless shoes thing, I'm like, no, no, no. The issue here is not your feet touching a gross carpet. The issue here is everyone having to deal with your feet.
yeah.
And I doubt most people are out there finding soulless. Apparently, there's like a sticky pad
Yeah.
you can put on your foot. And I'm like, also just like the safety hazard of anything
Mhm.
falling on your foot.
Well, here's an idea. Get the oversized hobbit feet and just cut the hair off of them.
That's a great idea, actually.
Yeah. Because then technically you're still barefoot. Like, simple. Whatever. Yeah, I was intrigued by Lit RPG Con, and apparently they had a lot of people, like a lot of Lit RPG writers there. Like Will White was there, and the guy who writes He Who Fights with Monsters was there, and a few others. So apparently they had a lot of people. But yeah, it is pretty much like Dinneman's thing right now. And then of course that moderator just don't talk about them.
Every time she's in a photo with him, he does not look thrilled.
No. But we're not here to talk about that.
We're not here to talk about that.
It's like talking about Bruno. Like you just don't do it.
Okay, but Bruno, it wasn't Bruno's fault. Bruno did
Actually,
nothing
it
wrong.
wasn't. Bruno did nothing wrong. That is very true. The abuela is the villain of that movie.
But she's also highly traumatized. So,
She is. Yeah, yeah. Casita's the villain of the movie. Then it's
yes.
the house. The house is trying to kill them. Like,
Yes. Agreed. Absolutely agreed.
um. So, uh, I was gonna talk about this tonight. But I'm gonna save this topic for another time because there was a convention that happened this weekend where there's some tea.
You can't just mention this and then not spill the tea.
Let's just say they had some panels about Star Trek and about how woke killed the franchise.
Oh gosh. That was an official panel topic?
It was two panel topics.
What?
It was I'm
Sorry, I'm very intrigued and like
okay.
low key
So
horrified. And by I'm curious where their bar for woke is too, because that is
so
extremely telling.
I am gonna bring a lot of people on to actually talk about these topics
Yeah.
like soon. Not tonight, but
Yeah.
soon. The one panel was looks like me how representation killed Trek. And the description is let's discuss how checklisting and self insertion supplanted quality storytelling to drive the once boldly going franchise to a precipice.
I mean, you think that the term boldly going would be also about like breaking through barriers, but we're okay.
And we'll get to that in a second. Then here's another one: personal pain and trauma in Trek then versus now. Comparing the internal resilience of characters in Golden Era Trek to the fragile emotional constitutions depicted in recent series like Discovery and Starfleet Academy. And they were done by the same moderator.
Surprise, surprise.
Um, I'm going to say this right now. This is a franchise that has been on the air for or around for over 60 years now. It is also the show that broke ground with an diverse cast.
Yeah.
Had the first interracial kiss on television.
That's what I was going to bring that up because I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm not a Trekkie at all.
yeah,
But even I know that and about
yeah,
representation.
yeah. So yeah, I when one of my friends sent me that from this weekend, I was like, you know what? I'm glad I no longer cover this convention. Like, I am so glad I'm no longer doing it because I would have gone into that room and I probably would have had my press credentials revoked because I would have let that dude have it. Like, how can you talk about that in a franchise that is preaches representation?
Yeah.
Like,
Who was on the panel? Was it anyone that like you know?
no, no, I've never heard of this person before. And then on top of that, um, somebody got fake money after they bought a pizza at the hotel. So yeah, good old Liz, my reporter, sent me this fake money. So my wife informed me today that someone gave us a fake $10 as change on Saturday. I think it was from the guy who was selling hot dogs, burgers, and pizza in the lobby because that was the last place I bought anything from on Saturday. And I remember getting a $10 bill back. I don't normally spend cash, but at cons, some people only take cash, and it's just easier to spend cash at small businesses to avoid fees or cutting into the business's profit. I should have checked my cash more carefully. I just wanted to warn you to check your cash too to see if you also got funny money. Great convention, though. This is my third year in a row coming here. This won't stop me from coming back next year. And yeah, the $10 bill says for motion picture purposes on it. It does. It
So
does.
now it's because, yeah, and now you have the question of like, did the vendor know it was fake or is this a scam?
Yeah. Well, no, because if you report it to the convention, remember you get kicked out of the group, like Klingon Deadpool. Oh no, I would too. Here it is. It says for motion picture purposes.
Like, I've never once checked my cash when I got it to make sure if it
Yeah.
was real or fake because,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, oh my god. So this convention used to be fantastic. Seriously. Small convention dedicated mostly to Trek, but a lot of science fiction. And they they get a lot of good guests and everything like every year, and like the community I thought was great, but then like ever since they moved to this one place after the one hotel closed, like they've gotten worse and worse. Like there was this guy last year, he always dresses as Klingon Deadpool. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. um okay, but something happened. He tried posting about it in the con's Facebook group, and they banned him and kicked him from the group because he brought up concerns, um, health concerns too. Like, this is an older demographic, and there's a lot of accessibility issues with this place too. Like, they have one elevator. Like, it's awful. It's absolutely awful. And yeah, it's just yeah. So, um, yeah, apparently that went on this weekend.
There was a convention I thought about going here for like a hot minute
Hmm.
that I sent you information for. It's a
Oh yeah,
romance. It's a romance literature convention,
yeah.
and I think tickets are like $30.
Hmm.
And they promise they're like, we're gonna have panels, we're gonna have voice actors, all these authors. And I went to the page and I started scrolling down the list of authors, and it was a bunch of people I've never heard of.
Yeah,
And which like doesn't mean a whole lot, but obviously like they also didn't have an anchor,
yeah,
like an anchor author. So I'm going through and realizing these are all self-published people.
yeah.
They have all these romance categories, but not queer romance.
Mm.
Um, and there were no panels. They have zero panels happening, but they have like a presentation of voice actors like reading a passage from a book, and then a lot of like sponsored lunches that were like sponsored
Oh my
by these
god.
authors. And I looked, and the tickets are time restricted. So there are different authors every day. And for like your $30 ticket, I think you get to be there for 2 or 3 hours. And I'm like, I'm not spending money on a ticket where the only thing there is to do once I get there is to buy books.
Yeah, that's
Like,
not
I'm
fair.
not paying essentially to enter a bookstore.
Yeah. Mm. Oh, that was the one where I was reading the descriptions, and they're like, "Yeah, where men can really be men," or something like that. And I'm like, "What? Like, what are you saying?"
It's just, yeah. And then I was doing it and I was like, this is like you're spending essentially like $10 an hour to shop. And
Yeah,
it didn't even sound like there were other vendors. But I'm like, don't tell people there's like panels and all this sort of
yeah, yeah.
when you also probably, I doubt these voice actors are often employed because I didn't recognize any of those names either. But yeah, I was looking it up, and when the author has their own logo, that's usually, I think, a good tell that they're an indie.
Yeah. Um, So if you're going to attend conventions, just do your research for conventions and just make sure that you are just represented too. Like make sure there is representation there, because that is a huge thing too.
Oh,
And you would think in this day and age, like more and more conventions would be about that. But uh, anyway, um, oh, quick side note: have you been watching X-Men '97?
no.
Oh, okay, you
Do I
you
need to
should
add that to my watch list?
put it at the top of your watch list.
Okay, I'm writing it down right now. I have a to-do list and it
Yeah,
has top priorities at the top, and I'm writing it in my top priorities. Because
so,
I have a lot of free time right now.
too. So, my wife and I went to Dave's Hot Chicken yesterday, because they actually have X-Men '97 meals that come with. So here's the box actually. Yeah, here's the box, and like you can see all the different characters, and then you get a toy. So here is future Jean Grey,
There we go.
about what is it, 3,000 years in the future, something like that. Okay, yeah, it's like 2,000 years in the future. And then here's a Storm from the future as well. It's awesome.
Do you think, because I know there's a lot of speculation over Sadie Sink in Spider-Man,
Yes.
who do you agree with, like the general chatter out there, or what are your thoughts?
What is the general chatter again? I'm sorry, I haven't been.
Jean Grey.
Well, they said they were gonna do X-Men after Doomsday and Secret Wars, so it would kind of make sense for them to really start establishing X-Men. Considering Ms. Marvel's now a mutant, we saw Beast at the end of the Marvels as well. Wolverine and Deadpool are canonically. Um, I mean, yeah, because whenever you look her up on IMDb, she doesn't have. I. It's either she's playing Jean Grey or Gwen Stacy.
I mean, like, there's a lot of talk. They're like, ooh, maybe
Sadie
she's like
Sink.
the real MJ. But I'm like, you don't throw away Zendaya, especially when
Yeah.
Zendaya is married to Spider-Man. You don't mess with that.
Yeah, that's true. But because of No Way Home, they could. This is like their chance to like really introduce Gwen. But I don't know. Like if she is Jean, you kind of have to bring in Charles too, in my opinion. Because like some people are going to be like, oh, is like, and like if they show her as Jean Grey, people are going to be like, that was Jean. Like unless she does something telekinetically. But I mean, what do you think?
I feel like I'm not informed enough to know, but I feel like Marvel isn't really
Yeah,
discreet. I mean, we
mhm.
knew all the Spider-Men were going to be in,
That was the worst, best kept secret.
because I mean, everyone, there were the photos of them going through airport security together,
Yeah,
which you can't tell me that was not planted.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think she might be Gwen, because I also think that. Oh, thanks. I also think that Miles is going to debut in this one too. As I eat a Grogu nummy cookie, Grogu Neller wafer. Um, I don't know. I mean, I am going to say this though. I'm not excited for this movie.
I haven't seen a ton of hype about it, but I feel like I'm also not in like the right spaces for that.
Hmm.
I haven't seen really any ads. I don't even know when it's coming out.
End of the month.
So then that's terrifying that there's been.
Yeah. Yeah. My wife actually just brought up a great point where um ever since they announced Robert Downey Jr. coming back to play Doom, it's taken us out. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't want to see Doomsday now. Like, I don't mind Doctor Doom, but I don't want to see RDJ. And he's gonna take the freaking mask off, and people are gonna be like, Tony, we thought you were dead. Oh my god, what happened? And then yeah, and then he's gonna be like, Tony, who's that? And then it's gonna be like this big thing, and I don't want that.
I think in a
Yeah,
way, the multiverse breaks a lot of things and
it
not in
does.
a fun way. It probably, I hate to say, like the first time stuff like that happens, it's like, whoa. But then when you make it an ongoing thing, because my question is like, once you introduce the Avengers, why aren't they all banding together for like every villain that shows up?
That's
You
true
know,
too.
like why are they just letting Spider-Man like good luck, kid, you're on your own. At least in at least like with Captain America, like Captain America
Mhm.
was like the only one around
Yeah.
in the
Oh,
first
in
movie. And then
yeah,
what is the movie where they're like Thor's off world, like blah, like there's
that's Ragnarok.
yeah, and there's or no, there's a movie where they're like, who else is here? And it was like, oh, the Avengers are like busy doing something. But I'm like, why don't
Oh,
you call your buddy up?
that was God, what is the one where they do talk about that? In one of the movies, they talk about Thor and like a few other people like being off world, and there was like a big threat.
I'm like Googling it right now to try and
All
figure
of them
out.
are running together.
And see, and that's the problem. Everyone's just saying, like, oh, he's off planet in Dark World. And I'm like, no, but he's mentioned in another movie.
Yeah, he's no, it wasn't the second Guardians because second Guardians is like
It's
literally a week after the first one.
it's apparently Far From Home.
Far From Home. Okay. That's right. That's right because that's when Peter meets Skrull Nick Fury and Skrull Maria Hill because they established them both being Skrulls at the end of that movie.
And then
Um
I feel like they just haven't done really anything with that since. But I'll admit, I don't remember the. I think Far From Home was the last Marvel movie I've watched.
no, because you watched No Way Home because you talked about Peter and
Or wait,
Andrew
yeah, sorry, no
or
wait,
Toby and Andrew.
I forget that there's already three of them.
Yeah.
That no,
Technically four.
that one is the last one I remember. Are you counting Civil War?
Yeah, I'm counting Civil War. I you kind of have to.
I just completely lost interest because I'm like, they're all origin stories.
Yeah.
And I'm just like over origin stories unless they do it like oh my gosh, I just forgot the animated Spider-Man. Why can I not
Oh,
remember?
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes, Spider-Verse. Unless they do that where it's everyone's like, here's how it went and like is done in a
Yeah.
really funny
Hey,
way.
Brendan. Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I
I
loved that.
yeah. Um so the last Marvel movies I watched, we did go and see Thunderbolts last year in the theaters and really enjoyed Thunderbolts because it's about trauma and PTSD and like all of these things. And I really, really enjoyed that one. Um Fantastic Four was just okay. I also think that Pedro Pascal should not be Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, and Pedro Pascal should have been Doctor Doom, and they should have kept John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic.
I think they just don't I feel like Pedro, he's been typecast by now.
Yes, he
Like
has.
they can't make any of us hate him.
And I will say this: I saw the Mandalorian and Grogu back in May. Loved him in the Mandalorian and Grogu. I think he's great when given the right material. Fantastic Four was just not the right material for him. Everybody else in that movie's fantastic. Like, it was okay for what it was, but it just yeah. I mean, the Shang-Chi I thought was great. As an origin story movie, I thought that one was really good. Um, the Black Widow movie didn't need to be made.
No, I watched that one because my I have a friend who's like really really into Black Widow, so I
Mhm.
watched that one for her, and I'm like, cool. Like Florence Pugh was great in it,
Mhm.
but also, yeah, it did need to be made, and like
Yeah.
there's a reason people were suing over it. The soundtrack was great,
Oh, the soundtrack's phenomenal.
but I just want to see. I Marvel has put itself into such a
Yeah.
box,
Oh, it has.
and it put itself in a box. I feel like in 2015.
It did. I think once they shot everything with Endgame, like once Endgame came out, that was it. Like you should have just ended it there. Honestly. But you're right, they did put themselves in a box. And now it's like a Schrodinger's cat situation where it's like if you open the box, Marvel may be alive or it may be dead. Like who knows? Like um they yes. Yep.
But I'm just so over origin stories. Like I don't care.
Yeah. I
And
get
that's
it.
what I appreciated about, the newest Spider-Man movies is we don't have to spend a
Hmm.
ton of time.
Yeah. But Superman was the same way too. I loved what they did with Superman, what DC did with Superman, not showing Krypton blow up. Like, I'm good. I don't need to see Jor-El send Kal-El to Earth. Supergirl kind of shows it, but not really. Um, Supergirl does a really good job about showing it. But yeah, I'm tired of origin stories too. Like, did did you see the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie?
No. Or I didn't see the sequel either.
Okay. I'm gonna spoil a movie that's like almost 10 years old now.
Yeah.
Um, there's a scene at the end of the movie where you see this family come walking out of this movie theater and they pan up and they show the movie, which is The Mark of Zorro. And I go, God damn it. Bruce Wayne's parents are walking out of the theater. And then I leaned over to my wife and I said, you know who that is, right? And she goes, no. And I go, that's Thomas and Martha and Bruce. And all I hear is this audible, God damn it. Like in the middle of this press screening for Joker. just just hear just this audible, God damn it. And I'm like, I don't need to see Bruce's parents die like all the time. I don't need to see it.
You know what? I think we've talked about this
Yeah.
before. Like Gotham had a great two like first seasons.
Yeah.
Um, you know what? This is non-ironically, I think one of the best Batman movies is the Lego Batman movie.
Absolutely. The Lego Batman movie is one of the best Batman movies. Absolutely.
I went into that with a friend thinking it was going to be like the stupidest waste of time. And we're like, no, this slapped.
Yes. So there's there's a Teen Titans Go movie that they did where they're pissed off about how like Superman and Batman and like all these people keep getting movies and then like Robin's like, "Oh yeah, this is the year I get my movie. This is the year I get my movie." And it's like Alfred the movie, like Batmobile the movie, like all this stuff. And then they're like, "Oh, well, let's go back in time and like prevent these heroes from like becoming heroes." So like they pull like Bruce's parents and Bruce out of Crime Alley, and then like when they realize like they screwed up, they're like, "Oh, we have to do this." So they go back after pulling them from Crime Alley. They shove his parents into the alley, and then all of a sudden, all you hear is just some bangs, and you see muzzle flashes, and like that's it. And I'm just like, "Oh my god, they just murdered Bruce's parents!" Like, yeah, like they made, yeah, like they made Krypton blow up. They choked Aquaman nearly to death with like a six pack thing. Like he's a sea turtle. It's so bad.
We just, I
Oh
mean, I don't know, like someone pointed out like the Marvel sense of humor,
yes,
and I have not been able to unhear it. And it makes a lot of like early 2010 movies unwatchable now.
it does. Yes, it does. I think the three funniest Marvel movies were all done by James Gunn, and that was the Guardians trilogy. Um, yeah, because his humor actually like lands, in my opinion. But yeah, but you're right. A lot of that 2010s humor does not land, and it kind of makes those movies unwatchable. I would say my favorite out of those early Marvel movies is probably First Avenger and maybe Winter Soldier. Because the humor is just subtle in those movies. So I don't
You know what movie I was thinking about the other day?
know.
You're
No.
you're never gonna guess. I hope you've heard of or seen this movie, okay?
Hmm.
So this is a deep dive. It's probably like 15 years old. This might have to look it up.
Okay.
It's one of the few movies, I think one of the few movies I have on DVD. Hold on. Hold
Oh, that's
on.
gonna bring us into another conversation here in a minute.
No, apparently I got rid of like almost all my DVDs when I moved
Oh.
last. But Chris Evans,
Hmm.
pre Captain America.
Are you
Uh,
talking about Push?
no, I'm not
Okay.
talking about Push. But I feel like he's like slowly like stripping away that Captain America thing with, like Knives Out and that sort of
Oh
thing.
yeah.
But did you ever see The Losers?
Oh, I love The Losers.
There was supposed to be a sequel, and I think they didn't do it probably because he got cast as Captain America.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I like The Losers is 1000% written for the male gaze,
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
but it's campy.
Hmm.
That elevator scene is iconic, and no one has seen this movie, I feel like.
I saw it in theaters twice. And then when the Blu-ray came out, I picked it up because I was like, I love this movie. It's so dumb.
I had a guy friend who has kind of like a stupid sense of humor. He's like,
Hmm.
"What do you want to watch?" And I'm like, "I'm going to put this movie in and you're not going to argue with me." And it became his favorite movie.
It's a fun movie. It's a
But
very fun movie.
he didn't seem to understand that like it was meant to be campy.
Yes.
Um, but oh yeah, like from the helicopter blowing up, like that movie knew how to make a soundtrack
Oh,
fit.
yeah.
And I think the scenes that are built around music
Hmm.
instead of the other way around are more powerful. And I know I constantly keep telling you to watch Arcane, but that was
Yeah.
something they did there is they
Hmm.
commissioned the music and then they built fight scenes
Yeah.
around the soundtrack, and
Hmm.
it hits so well.
Edgar Wright does that with a lot of his movies too. Um, yeah. Like Scott Pilgrim versus the World is one where like the soundtrack is heavily like centered around the fight scenes, or the fight scenes are heavily centered around the soundtrack. Um, and even Baby Driver was the same way too. Um, yeah.
Yeah, Baby Driver, great use of music, not
Yes.
great movie.
Uh,
In my opinion, I
yeah.
didn't really enjoy it.
Um, the more I watch it now, like the more I'm kind of in that camp because I feel like he kind of peaked with Scott Pilgrim and also Hot Fuzz, which is just a perfect stupid action movie. Um,
Have you
yeah.
seen Portrait of a Lady on Fire?
No, I'll have to check that one out.
So it is a French film.
Okay.
It is the last movie I saw before the pandemic hit.
Okay.
I saw with my friend. There was only one movie theater in our state that was going it, and there is no soundtrack.
Oh, wow.
There are two songs.
Hmm.
Um, One is Vivaldi Spring,
Okay.
and it's played on like a pianoforte the
Okay.
first time you hear it. And then the second time you hear it, it's done by a full orchestra.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then the other song is like a bunch of women like chanting and singing and like humming around a fire. And so the only soundtrack is music and things that are happening in the
Mm-hmm.
movie. And so what happens is like the ending scene is this orchestral version of, Vivaldi Spring, which
Yeah.
I feel like is generally like overused
Yes.
or is overused now, but it fits so well and it's organic and they're not doing it. It's done really well. Like I don't want to spoil the ending of the movie,
Hmm.
but you end and then there's sudden silence and then the credits roll.
Hmm.
And my friend and I realized we had been holding our breath.
Oh, wow.
And so a lot of the reviews I saw were talking about when the music is used so sparingly, it really makes like the silences
Hmm.
more powerful.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Yeah. I love when movies do stuff like that. Love that.
And
Um,
this one, and I've kind of told myself it's been 6 years, so if they haven't released it, they're not going to do it. But the ending scene is filmed from one character's point of view,
oh, wow.
and like her literal gaze, and um, the woman who made the movie said that they filmed a second ending from the other character's point of view,
Oh, that's cool.
and it's a historical queer film.
Hmm.
And so you can kind of guess a little bit of like if they end up together or not. But it's supposed to
What?
be, I know. And it's essentially like they debate the myth of Orpheus and Eurydice a lot.
Hmm.
And so, and debate whether or not like he should have looked back.
Yeah.
And they're saying like the poet's choice versus like the lover's choice.
Mm.
And so, knowing what's happening in that scene hearing like, oh yeah, we also filmed it from the other character's point of view. We might release that someday. It's like, well, are you? Are you? Because it's not going to change the ending at all. But that
Yeah.
perspective is like when a movie is so intriguing that you want to see it from the other character's gaze.
Hmm. I 100% agree with that. Yeah.
And it's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal acting. But yeah,
Nice.
like when the music ends and like the silence hits for the credits, we literally looked at each other and we're like, we were holding our breath and we didn't even realize it.
Nice. Um, so you mentioned physical media earlier.
Do you want to know the DVDs I have?
Sure, while we talk about a certain bonehead decision that was made, but
Oh, yes. So I think I might have other DVDs in a box somewhere, but these are just the
okay.
ones I took out because when I moved last, I sold like almost everything, donated a lot. So I have right now Silver Linings Playbook, which is one of my like top 5 movies of all time.
It's a good one.
Zombieland Double Tap,
Okay. Not into zombies, but that's fine.
Wild Target.
Okay.
It's a British film with Emily Blunt
Nice.
about a hitman who's hired to kill her, and she's an art forger. And
That's
he has
awesome.
love at first sight and decides that he's not going to kill her, but now all these other assassins are coming after her. Rupert Grint is in it.
Oh, that's
As,
fantastic.
like a total pothead who the assassin's like, you're going to be my apprentice and you're going to take over for
Love
me.
it. I love that.
It is ridiculous. It is British humor. Highly recommend it.
Okay.
Um, Mamma Mia,
Okay.
Kubo. And if
Okay.
he's just not that into you, for whatever reason, I thought that one was important enough to move with me.
I mean, fair. Fair. I mean, you have an eclectic mix. You know,
Yes.
you've got some romance there. You've got a horror, and then you've got some crazy stuff. So yeah,
I
yeah.
had Zombieland I use as a litmus test for
Okay.
dates, whether or not you like Zombieland. And I brought it on a date like 7 years ago. And I accidentally left it at the guy's house.
Mm,
And then we never saw each other again. And I'm still angsty about it. But I'm like, we're
oof.
going to watch this movie. And he didn't know who Bill Murray was.
Bill Murray alone should just be a litmus test for people.
I'm just like, how do you not know of the existence
Mm,
of Bill Murray?
I mean, outside of Zombieland, I mean, Ghostbusters, Caddyshack, Stripes. I mean, what about Bob? Like all of these amazing movies. Groundhog Day. Like
And have you seen Zombieland?
I've seen the first Zombieland. Yeah.
So in the sequel, they kept saying Bill Murray's like, "Oh yeah, I'm in the sequel." And it's like, "How are you in the sequel? You died." And he shows up in the post-credit scene,
Hmm.
and it's the beginning of the zombie apocalypse, and it's when he's doing the press tour for Garfield.
Oh, jeez, that's pretty funny. I keep forgetting that he was in that movie.
Because they ask in the original Zombieland, they're like, "Any regrets?" And he goes, "The Garfield
Garfield
movie."
movie. God.
Yeah,
Uh,
physical media.
Physical media. Um. So Sony made a really stupid decision about discontinuing physical discs for PlayStation starting in 2028, so we've got a little bit of time. Um but I think it's a really dumb decision because you alienate a lot of people, you remove choices from a lot of people, and also preservation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, think of things that have been yanked off of streaming
Mhm.
platforms. I have a friend I used to work with. His name is Derek. Him and his wife run an Instagram account called Two Faced Music Movie Reviews that I highly
Mhm.
recommend because their
Okay.
entire reviews are just whatever expression is on their face.
Perfect.
And he talked a lot about how he liked the Willow reboot that
Yeah.
Disney Plus did, and then they yanked it from the platform. And he said I couldn't even buy
Yeah.
the DVDs to watch this again
Yeah.
because it's just gone.
Yeah, I mean, Sony also 2 weeks ago removed over 550 Studio Canal movies from their their platform that people had bought and didn't even refund.
Yeah, and when I bought a PS5 a few months ago, and I was trying to decide between two of them, it was like the PS5 like Slim or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was researching. I'm like, how much does it matter if I can feed an actual disc into this or not?
Hmm.
And people were recommending, they're like, well, get the one where you can, because then you have options.
Yeah.
So because they're more likely to do sales and discounts on the physical media
Hmm.
than the digital. And it's weird that my son, that was one of the first things that came to mind with this. I said, well, they're getting rid of that, first of all, but you literally are forced now with one price. I'm curious what this might do to like third party retail,
Yeah. Yeah.
but now you can't sell the games and you're done with them.
Hmm. So last weekend we were at a third party game retailer um that we go to sometimes, and I picked up a couple of things physically. They have both new and used games, and I was like, well, you know what? I want to buy more physical media for my PlayStation 5. I got the Slim with the disc drive like you have, because I love having that. love having that disc in my hand. So I picked up one of the Assassin's Creed on PlayStation 4 that I can play on my PS5, and then I picked up Jedi Fallen Order because I don't have a physical copy of it for PlayStation 5. So but like I was trying to talk to them about it, and they were like, it's such a stupid decision by Sony, but they're
Mhm.
like, we get enough business where we can stay around for a while, especially like with people selling their older collections and buying older collections and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, third party retailers, because when you go to a convention, like at a lot of Comic Cons, there are a lot of third party retailers selling video games at Comic Cons, and for all platforms, not just current platforms. So, you got to look at that. Like GameStop is going to get hit hard by
Mhm.
this thing, and a bunch of GameStops have already started closing. So, um, yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like they didn't. And I'll get to the numbers in a second because the numbers don't make sense. Like the numbers that they're sprouting just don't make sense. But how do you think it'll affect third party?
I mean, they're going to take a huge hit.
Yeah,
Other thoughts I've had are, is this a way to profit off of indie developers?
yeah,
Because if you have someone who's just selling the physical version of something, now they're going to have to go through you. And I'm assuming
yeah,
that there are fees and that they take a cut.
yeah,
I'm also curious because now you have no displays
yeah,
at stores. And stores are probably going to have to heavily lean onto the gift card aspect because that's how you're going to be. If you want to gift your nephew or niece a game, how would that work? But I'm assuming it would then be like, here's a gift card to
yeah.
Sony, and this is how you're going to do it. But at the same time, like Baldur's Gate 3 is only sold digitally
Yeah, they had a limited physical run. Yeah,
and that sort of thing. One thing I have enjoyed, so I also got a Switch 2 about a month ago,
yeah.
and I've been playing obscene amounts of games lately. Um, Working my way through, I don't know how to pronounce it, Pokapia?
Pacopia.
Pocopia. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Hmm.
This is the problem with just reading the names of things.
It's fine.
And it's, a nice, cozy
Hmm.
Pokemon game.
It
But
is.
I was just messing around and someone's like, oh, yeah, go to the store. And it's like, oh, so now instead of waiting for the remakes and worrying about, stuff that's not backwards compatible,
Yeah,
you can go in there and I can find the entire library
yeah.
of like Fire Emblem games, for example,
Hmm.
that if I were to try to buy now, I'd have to buy from some rando for like $200. And so
Yeah.
I appreciate that aspect where like not being limited by physical media,
Hmm.
but it's still like there's just something fun about like taking out the physical game and putting it in. But when it's
Hmm.
digital, I mean, there's the whole new rule where you have to like PS5, you have to like log in every so many days to keep your stuff. And it's been a good like month, 6 weeks since I played Baldur's Gate, and I'm terrified of opening it and it not being there.
So yeah, they said that if you are offline for 36 months, they can actually start removing stuff from your PSN account. So you just being inactive for like a month or two, you're fine. But I get what you mean.
Well, I saw people online who are saying like 14 days.
No. Yeah.
And so I'm glad to know that that's
Yeah.
not true. But
Yeah.
it's wild. Yeah, and and one of the other things I thought of is I always joke that like if I'm going to play a new game on Xbox,
Hmm.
I'm not playing that game today
Yeah. Yeah.
because there are so many freaking patches and updates to even like a DVD player on it that you're going to be waiting hours. You can't just be like, oh, I want to play this game. Oh, well, now I have to
Yeah.
wait 4 hours sometimes for these updates to go through.
Yeah. That and honestly, I'm just using my Xbox now just for Game Pass.
Mhm.
So that way I'm not making digital purchases. But yeah, I get what you mean by your Xbox too, because I used to have to do that with my Xbox One. Like, if I wanted to play the brand new Call of Duty, I had like 18 patches like to get through beforehand. And it's not fair. Also, like going to the digital thing, I feel like Sony saw what Rockstar announced with GTA 6 and just figured, oh, well, since they announced that GTA 6 was just going to be digital only, hey, now we can make this decision too. And it's actually bit both of them in the butt. Like, a lot of people have still pre ordered GTA 6, but a lot of people canceled pre-orders too, especially after what Sony did. And also, if I want the physical edition of GTA, it's just a code in a box. Like, well, you can still have the box. It's not about the box. It's about what's in the box. What's in the box?
Yeah, I think probably it could. My guess is two things. One, it's a way to control prices,
It is.
and also to eliminate resale, which I
Yeah,
can't imagine cuts into their profits that much.
it doesn't.
And number two, I'm worried they potentially could be trying to avoid big swings in pricing due to things
Yeah.
like tariffs.
Yeah, that's true too. Because every single console has raised prices now again. Um,
Yeah. One of the reasons I bought my Switch 2 and I did is pretty much the Ocarina of Time remake, first of all.
Fair.
But someone made the comment, they're like, the price is guaranteed to go up right before that game drops.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is. It is. Just like how the price is guaranteed to raise on the PS5 and the Xbox as well. I wanted to talk about the numbers real quick, because Sony said something about 85% of their their players making digital purchases, and that to me is a very high number, considering they're grouping in not only digital game purchases, so but they're grouping in microtransactions, DLC transactions, all of that to make that 85%. And that's not fair to make because, yeah, microtransactions are a digital purchase, but it's not downloading a game. It's not buying a game. It's buying like a skin in the game. Like, yeah.
Well, and I hate if I'm using the console having to type in a credit card number because that takes 2 minutes.
Yes.
It's just much more convenient. From my end, I think it's much more convenient for me to just buy something physically.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Um Hold on. Somebody said that the last few exclusives for Sony have sold more physically than they have digitally. I saw the numbers somewhere. I can't seem to find it, but it was like Spider-Man 2. Most of Spider-Man 2 sales were all physical. God of Wars were all physical, or mostly. Ratchet and Clank, um, Miles Morales Spider-Man, like Horizon Forbidden West, like all of these games that had like physical releases for PlayStation that were exclusive all had like really like high like physical sales numbers, like 50-60%. So you can't tell me this one thing. Like I, I don't know. I feel like I'm talking in circles right now, but
No, like they're all great points. And I don't know, I hate to be like, maybe they know something that we don't know about just like economic. Like I said, it could have been a knee
yeah.
jerk reaction to unpredictable tariffs or,
Hmm.
if prices are going to rise, somewhere that they're not
Yeah.
able to control. Um, and that at the end of the day, like if it costs the same for the physical as it does for the digital, they're going to be making a lot more money.
Yeah. I mean, and don't get me wrong, like we've all bought digital because of the convenience and everything, but you truly just don't own it. And that's the thing that scares me because also we talk about this digital thing. Not everybody has access to high-speed internet in their areas. People are data capped or they don't have internet at all and they have to rely on their local libraries. And now you're putting a strain on the local library system too, because a lot of people, hell, I get games from my local library because I like having the convenience of it. And that way I can be like, oh yeah, I want to try that out. It's free at my local library. Let's go. Like my wife got me a GameFly subscription. Like play physical that way. So
Yeah. I read something about how people think it's some sort of reaction to Steam.
yeah, but Steam, wow, that's like a lot of emergency vehicles. Um but like Steam, at least if you have it in your library, they will not take that license away from you after you've bought it. Like they have found a way to preserve those games. So, yeah. But that's the thing. Sony's not offering any solution to preserve these things. And another point that I'm going to make and then I'm going to shut up um is that what if GTA 6 fails? Not saying that it will because it's going to be like the biggest game of all time, but what if it fails? And then Rockstar says, "Well, you know what? Now we just want to pull it." Those people that paid $80 to $100, which don't even get me started on that, are now out that money. So, yeah. What else do you want to say about this?
I think that's mostly it. Like, I'm interested to see it play out because I
Yeah.
think these companies don't really care about customer backlash because if you want the game, you're going to buy the game.
Hmm.
And I think it's probably just trying to raise those profit margins.
Yeah, it is. People have asked me if I'm playing GTA 6, and I'm like, no, I can replay GTA 5 for like the 1 millionth time,
Yeah.
and I can play all of these other games. I canceled my PS Plus because a lot of people have been canceling their PS Pluses until Sony actually like addresses this situation. And guess I'm not playing Helldivers unless I get it on PC.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
how
Um,
dare you?
but yeah, like I specifically bought the PS5 I did because people were saying they're more likely to have sales on physical media.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at Amazon alone right now, most of the stuff's on sale.
Mhm.
I mean, GameStop has sales all the time. Um, I love how like everybody has been. Have you been seeing the Domino's UK accounts?
No. Do I need to look it up?
I'll look it up for you. There was let me actually search PlayStation here. Or no, let me search Domino's UK. Yeah, it's Domino's UK. So they posted um let me see here. Physical pizza is better than digital pizza.
Yes.
Um might send PlayStation a digital pizza. We've sold 172,288,912 pizzas since PlayStation last posted. PlayStation are still very quiet. Perhaps stayed up to watch the England game. Might send them a digital coffee. Um, uh, there was they posted a picture of like one of the Call of Duty maps, and it said, "I'll meet any pineapple on pizza fan here." Oh, breaking news! Here we go. This is from the second. In response to trends in the gaming industry, as of 1st April 2027, Domino's UK will cease production of physical pizzas and shift to production of digital pizzas only. Consumers will be able to download our full range of delicious pizza codes and, using the power of imagination, enjoy them in an entirely virtual sense. At the same time, our much loved Domina Oh Hoo Hoo catchphrase will be updated to Domino whose dumb idea was this. Um
I love that.
oh my god, they're just getting ratioed right now. Um yeah, there was another one. So somebody Sony posted about this flex strike thing, and which is like a new joystick that they have. And one person said, "Why are you making this physically? The market is trending to digital only. Just put the controls on the screen." Is the fight stick available digitally? Um, no physical games, no money. Thank you for convincing me to buy a gaming PC. Between the cost and going digital, there's no reason to stick to PlayStation anymore, and I don't care about exclusives. They're an anti-consumer company. Can I download this digitally? Um, I need a new fight stick, but not interested in any more peripherals if physical games aren't an option. Um, Let me see here. Surprised they haven't made this all digital. Is this digitally, or do I have to pay extra for the buttons? I foresee a ton of "Hey Dipstick" comments in the replies to this across social media. Um,
It's a great one.
yes. Hardware, I thought owning things was verboten. Um, People are like, "You think we're going to forget? How about I switch out the whole console and just play PC?" Um, a lot of people asking if it's physical or digital. Can we use the same toolless system, or can the same toolless system be used to swap discs? Um, you guys going to scrap this too for a digital only version? That might actually be my favorite.
I like
One
it
person,
has this is another like stupid metaphor, not metaphor
yeah,
analogy. It reminds me when remember when like smartphones first became a thing and there's an app for that
yeah,
and people were doing like stupid measuring tape ones
hmm,
or the like look like you're chugging a beer one. I don't know. It just like it
yeah.
reminds me a little of that. When at first it sounds great and hyped, but it's very clear that they're listening to the economics of everything instead of what customers actually want. And I can
Exactly.
imagine, you don't really impulse buy something when you're like scrolling through a store as opposed to when you're physically at one. And again, like those physical displays are a
Oh
huge
yeah.
marketing tool.
Oh yeah. I love going into like my local Walmart and stuff and browsing the video games because they're right there. Like I can look at them. Um, Somebody else posted a GIF from Severance that said "devour feculence." Um, yeah, like
Do you
how
see them reversing this?
I I want them to, but I don't know if they will. That's the problem. Like, I mean, they've walked stuff back before, but I don't know. I mean, keep in mind, you know, music's still being printed, movies are still being printed, books. I mean, bookstores are even more popular now. Like, so I hope they walk it back. What do you think?
I think pride will get in the way. And if it happens, it's going to be a few years down the line and purely to advertise like special edition things. Because speaking of like music,
Yeah.
uh, right now the thing is variants. And you
Yeah.
have some Billie Eilish had like what, like 50 plus variants.
Yeah.
of an album, and it's you sell the physical product, but you sell the physical product as a collectible.
Yeah.
And maybe they're trying to capitalize on that, but I don't think like talking about like Bookstagram and Book Talk
Yeah.
right now. So I do I have a book subscription, or I have a subscription to the Crate box.
Oh yeah.
And I like Crate because they, get introduced me to new authors. More often than not, I'm not in love with the titles that they have,
Mhm.
but they do enough special editions of books from authors that I love that I was going to buy anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a copy of The Everlasting by Alex Hara that's probably the most physically gorgeous book I've ever seen.
Mm.
But you get them because, sorry, I'm really bad at.
That was amazing.
So here's the thing: my desk moves throughout the day.
Okay.
I will. It's never in the same place. I like move it around to chase the
Okay.
sun and things like that. So I thought
Yeah.
I was closer. So not only is this cover gorgeous,
Oh, it's
but
beautiful.
you buy it because you got to have. Everyone wants the fancy edges now because of Bookstagram.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say, like, you're missing out on a lot of content from people who have, their show off shelf, whatever. But I can see them maybe transitioning to, because now everything has a zillion special editions from all these,
Yeah.
like book companies. And it's because people on social media, and especially like bookstagrammers, when they post a review, if you have the pretty version, you have people who have like 5 different editions of Fourth Wing
I know.
because it becomes a collectible. And now you're getting rid of that. I mean, games are never going to be like this
Yeah.
level, but you used to have like game guides
Oh yeah.
and like the artwork I mean, the internet kind of ruined game guides,
They did.
but like the art piece of those
Mm-hmm.
was always gorgeous.
I remember a midnight release of oh, it was Halo ODST. It was a midnight release. It was like one of the first midnight releases. Yeah, it was one of the first midnight releases I've ever been to. And I pre-ordered the game, and guess what? Like I got the game, and then I got an Xbox 360 controller that went with it. Like they're like, you bought this version of the game, you get the controller, and it's still like one of my favorite memories because it was a special edition thing. Like limited run games is doing like a lot of special editions and stuff now for like physical things or physical games. But yeah, like if that's how they want to do it, if they just want to print on discs and have like limited runs of things, like maybe some of their exclusives or something like that, I'm okay with that. But at the same time, I'm also in that camp of everything or nothing. Like everything should have a physical release. Even the indie publishers should be allowed to have a physical release. Like there's no reason Dispatch shouldn't have had a physical release. Yeah,
But also, they can't bring it back if they don't sell the consoles anymore.
that's true too. Yeah.
But then, who knows, for the PS6 it might be like, guess what we're bringing back, and it's you create a problem so that way you can solve it.
Oh yeah.
But
I guarantee you.
I don't see other companies doing the same thing.
No, I guarantee you that there's going to be enough backlash where eventually with the PS6 coming out, they're going to be like, hey, you broke us down and now we finally have a disk drive for the thing. And, we're only going to do like a certain amount of games, but here you go. No, just come on, attach it. Like keep seeing ads like pop up on Instagram and everything where they're like, hey, you can get a disk drive for your PlayStation, like get a disk drive for your PlayStation. And then people are like, why are you pushing this on me when you just said you're doing this? Like it doesn't make sense.
No,
Yeah.
and especially like if they're common, and whoever runs their social media knew this was coming.
Oh,
As far
100.
as like the backlash, because now every time they post something, I mean, there was I don't know if you've heard this drama. There's an author who has a book that is about to come out, or it just
Mhm,
came out, and a random book club read it
mhm.
and then gave him like 1 or 2 star reviews on Goodreads.
Oh, jeez.
And the author flipped out. She doxed this entire book club and posted on her story their full names, where they work, detail pictures of their children, and said, I'll be emailing your employer. Which, like, no one is going to fire someone because you wrote a bad book, like, right? And
Yeah.
now every time that publisher, I think it's like HarperCollins,
Oh, that's
puts
a
any
big
post,
publisher.
puts anything out, the comments are flooded with drop this author because she's contracted for I think another 2 books.
Oh, wow.
And people are like, well, it depends if she has a morality clause. And but like very specifically, like and now it started with like a book club, and then I don't know what she's doing now, but she has continued to dox all these people and is like, you think that someone's a nurse would have some compassion and stuff like that. But also, like I said, photos of people's children. Um,
You don't do that.
and trying to threaten that she's going to get Goodreads to ban people. Like it's been a whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've dropped her yet. I would be shocked if they haven't dropped her yet. But people now are looking her up in court records and finding that she's been arrested and charged with stalking before. And that she loves filing like frivolous $100,000 lawsuits against
Jesus.
people she feels like were for pretty much for slander. And it sounds like they're all immediately getting thrown out because, like, I don't
How
know.
the hell
But
do you
yeah,
do
like pretty
this?
much she tries to take legal action against people, but they're like, it's bad enough when an author responds to a review,
Mhm.
but doxing reviewers and it's not just hurt her career. Now, like I said, every comment on these posts, because I opened one and I started scrolling down, are all about this author because, like Sony's decision isn't like physical, like putting anyone's like life at risk here.
No, no.
But,
It's just a bunch of
you
pissed off
have
geeks.
you have a bad actor and that's all people are going to be talking about on your social media. And it's been like a week and a half since then. And I think that's still happening.
Yeah. I don't get
But
it.
yeah, the book's called Valley of the Dolls.
Okay, I will check
Or
that.
sorry, Valley of the Moms.
All right.
And yeah, I haven't seen anything saying they dropped her yet, but I can't imagine they're going to keep her.
Not after that crap. Um, what was I just gonna say? Well, yeah, I don't know. I hope they drop her, especially after that. So real quick, I'm going to talk about one other thing in gaming related, and then I want to hear your thoughts about a certain little project that you told me that you were watching. Um, so there is some drama going around Star Wars Eclipse, which is in game that's in development by the studio that did Detroit Become Human and Heavy Rain and a few others, Quantic Dream, in which the leader of that studio has said some not so nice things in the past. Um, and now people are saying that they may not have the money to finish the game. So I am okay with that, especially when I found out what studio was making it. I was like, yep, nope, I'm good. So, yeah. Any thoughts on that? No.
I I don't know. I sorry, one of my things always is like when something happens, all the collateral damage for like employees and
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And I really, really like knowing how big studios and things are, I always
Yeah.
really do feel for people, and I always want to know that like they're okay.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like when it comes to like the developers, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, the studio heads, I don't care.
No,
Yeah.
but I mean, but it always is like the little guy gets hurt because
Hmm.
like hearing some of these projects where like your lead actor does something super problematic and they pull it or cancel it,
Yeah.
I always am like, oh, well, I wouldn't want to watch it because X, Y, and Z, but like all
Hmm.
these other people who
Yeah.
then lose their jobs.
Hmm.
Um,
A, a lot of people had that issue when Hogwarts Legacy came out
mhm.
because they wanted to support the people that worked hard on the game, but at the same time they didn't want to give money to he or she who shall not be named.
Yeah, I've
Uh,
had a lot of discussions with people about this. A lot of people about it, and like a friend who talks about being an ally, and then she's like, I really want to play the game. And I explained to her, as like, and this is even before, our Miss Turf uh,
yeah,
announced that she was creating these legal funds
yeah,
um, for people. And I'm like, what you're doing is like actively, especially now, it's like every time you buy something, you are actually contributing
yeah.
financially to these actions,
Hmm.
not just contributing to someone who has beliefs. Uh,
Yeah,
and her response was, she's like, well, I just really want to play it. I'm like, but you need to think about like, and it's always like cishet people who say like, oh, well, that's not personally affecting me, or oh, I don't have trans friends or something. And I'm like,
yeah,
well, first of all, you probably have a friend who's probably like closeted, like
yeah,
statistically, but why would they ever want to be friends with you now? And
hmm,
you're talking to people about like doing harm, and so many people are willing to brush aside harm for the sake of nostalgia.
hmm,
There was another creator who did a wizarding book thing
yeah,
last month, and one of them or two of them did it, and one of them I just immediately unfollowed.
hmm,
And if she asked why I unfollowed her, I'll be very frank.
yeah.
um, and the other one, I made the comment, I was like, dude, why are you supporting a turf, especially during Pride Month?
Exactly.
And he's like, oh, sorry, I should have waited to post this till July.
Or just not posted it at all, but
And then he sent me a message pretty much saying, like, I want to be an ally, but like, I also, this was a big part of me growing up, blah, blah, blah. What should I do? And by the time I opened the message, he had deleted the DM.
jeez. I mean, that would be like if I found out that, like George Lucas was like that. I would, I would stop supporting Star Wars. I would stop supporting that because I would be like, hey, that's not right. Because at the end of the day, you have to stand up for what you believe. And yeah, it sucks that the little people are the ones that are crushed by these things, like you were saying. But yeah, at the end of the day, you have to make a stand for that stuff. No mere amount of entertainment is worth neglecting people for. So
Right, right. And it's difficult. I mean, and I know people who are trans who still have like their house name in their handles. And at that point, I'm like, that's your decision, and I'm gonna respect like your decision there. I'm gonna
yeah,
question it and question you.
yeah,
Um, but especially with the announcement like in the last year of like I'm putting my money towards this, and considering she's also gone after people for being ace,
yeah,
I'm like, it's gonna come around to everyone who is
mm,
not a white cishet person.
yeah,
And she's, I think, just getting more and more emboldened.
hmm, yeah,
But yeah, I'm like, who, like, what have asexuals ever done to anyone? I'm like, they just like,
they just do their own thing.
like they
Uh,
just want to like be left alone. Like,
yeah, exactly. Um, um, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that real quick and hear your thoughts on that. Um, so you watched Obi-Wan. Was that your first time watching Kenobi?
Yeah, it was my I watched it like because you're like, "Oh, you need to watch it." I watched it because of you.
Oh, well, I feel honored. What did you think?
I think it was a very like tight show.
Yes.
I appreciate it because it gave me a story I hadn't thought about.
Hmm.
Little Leia is like the moment.
She's the best.
She's the best. I had one complaint with the show, and then
Okay.
the other one is a complaint with Obi-Wan.
Okay. Go on.
So my complaint with him is he's like a boy mom. I think I even posted, I said Obi-Wan is a boy mom.
Yes.
As far as like problematic boy mom culture, where he's just obsessed with Luke. And
Yeah.
when he asks Leia how old she is, I'm like, you've got to be freaking kidding me, my guy. Like,
I remember you messaging me about that.
I'm like, you were there when she was born. Like,
It's literally like in the recap before the show even begins.
they are twins. Like, and
Yes.
it was like, it is like such the boy mom thing to be like, this is how old he is. He's only obsessed with Luke.
Yeah.
And the actress just did a phenomenal job. She
Yes.
was adorable, but she was also, like strong. I
Mhm.
like that whenever there was a screw up that got them discovered, it was always his and not hers.
Yes. Yes.
But I'm kind of over, and it could be because I went from, the mall show to this one.
Yeah.
I'm very much over the like, we're spending the entire show running away.
Yeah. I get it. 100%. Yeah.
And I think if maybe I'd given it some time before,
Yeah.
because even like, I mean, I'm thinking of the other ones, like Bad Batch, yeah, they're like hiding, but
Yeah.
not everything is like we're about to get caught, we're running away.
Yeah.
And even like Andor being a like actually like a spy show
Hmm.
and other things is A, he gets caught,
Yeah.
and the best episodes in the series are when he's imprisoned.
Oh my God. I love that.
But
Yeah.
I would rather have the tension of like hiding in plain sight
Yeah.
and figuring things out than another chase.
Yeah. I get that. And I see that 100%.
I think it's really compelling because I didn't realize until I watched the show, like, oh, how would he know that Vader was Anakin? Because in
Yeah.
my mind, I was like, oh, this must be common knowledge. And then that show really made me think like, oh no, this is not common knowledge at all. And the emotional aspect of like I've been taking responsibility for leaving someone for dead,
Hmm.
and then oh, this is what this person has become.
Yeah.
Lightsaber battles are great.
Yeah.
I love seeing everyone again. My first thought was like, how did they convince Liam Neeson to come back? And I'm like, that man does anything.
He does. He does.
He probably I can see him asking.
Hmm.
Um, I know you haven't seen Dairy Girls, but he's on an episode of Dairy Girls,
Oh, that's great.
and it's the most random cameo. He plays a police officer interrogating these teenage girls.
That's fantastic.
And I looked up, like, how did he end up on this show? And it was because, like, Helen Mirren's like, you need to watch this show. And she called him up, and then he called up the showrunners and was like, I want to be on your show. So they wrote a character for him.
That's awesome. Yeah, when I saw when I saw him show up at the end at the end of the show, tears, because he's my favorite character in the Phantom Menace. Like, he's the best character in that movie. And like when he shows up and he says took you long enough, I was like, "Oh my God, that is Qui-Gon right there. Like it was perfect. Absolutely perfect. And I'm wondering how much they paid him for just that 30 seconds of screen time, but
We also don't know how much of a super nerd he is.
yeah, he
Um,
is a nerd.
because it could just be like, hey, do you want to come back? Here's $1 million or whatever. But someone made the comment that this was the most expensive show to make with how cheaply done it looked.
Yeah, outside of Andor. Yeah, yeah, but
And I
yeah.
don't think it looked cheap, but
No,
people were doing like out of context clips. I was like, oh, I can kind of see that. But
yeah,
also, I mean, I feel like people say cheaply made, and sometimes it's a thing for like, oh, they didn't use special effects,
yeah. But like
which we all love that Star Wars didn't, use practical effects.
yeah, I mean, they're starting to use like ever since they came back with the sequels, like they definitely wanted to rely more on practical effects. And I think that's great that the Kenobi show really does rely on a lot of practical effects. Like the Gonk droid, like that's like at Obi-Wan's place of work. Like I if you couldn't tell, I love Gonk droids. This one winds up. It's awesome. Um, I love Gonk droids, but yeah, I mean, it it is expensive, but it doesn't look cheaply made. It looks like it's made with care. Like, um, even the de aging that they did on Hayden Christensen in the flashback scene was perfect.
Mhm.
Um,
It was, I was sitting there going crazy, being like, is this a scene before that I had just forgotten about?
yeah,
Or is this new? And that's how you know it was great and it didn't look fake.
yeah, yeah. Um, what so I just want to know more of your thoughts on the show. Like if you want to go in depth on characters, you can. Just I can't wait to hear more.
I mean, I always love Bale. I don't know why, but he's a character that intrigues me.
Bail Organa is an amazing character. Yes.
And I love how they just constantly switch up his actor. They're
Yeah.
just like when they recast him, it just but everyone fits.
Hmm.
Um,
I actually thought the recasting was fine in Andor with Benjamin Bratt. Like I was like, okay,
he was a great,
yeah,
and that's why I was surprised to not see him
yeah,
in Obi-Wan. I was like, oh, they
yeah. It was Jimmy Smits. Yeah.
yeah, and I feel like the show really fit in nicely with everything else.
Hmm.
It didn't feel like it was alluding to too much
Yeah.
of other shows. It fills that gap of like, what was he doing?
Hmm.
It was a cohesive story.
Very much so.
And there's something to be said, I think, about like a cohesive one season limited edition show,
Yeah.
um, where you're not like, oh gosh, they're setting it up. And I think that kind of also avoids a heartbreak for things like
Yeah.
the Acolyte. We haven't said renew the Acolyte yet on the show.
We do need to renew the acolyte.
Renew the
Um,
Acolyte.
yes. Well, like a lot of people have said, well, I want season 2 of Kenobi, and I'm like, you don't need it. You don't need it at all. It's perfect the way it is. Like,
I
yeah.
mean, I think another Leia show could be great.
I would love Vivian Lyra Blair as young Leia.
But I mean, you get into the problem of like when you get too close to the character's age
Yeah.
and the originals, and it takes you out.
Did you see Solo?
It's also on my list.
Okay. The guy that they have playing Han Solo looks similar to Harrison Ford, but like his performance is so believable that he is Han Solo in my opinion. So, yeah, he's not imitating, he's doing his own thing. So, and that's what Vivian Lyra Blair did with Leia. Like she made that her own thing. Like when she like verbally like smacks down her cousin at the party for like being mean to the droid. It's like one of
Yes.
my favorite scenes. Yeah.
It was great. And I had those moments of like taking Leia's personality traits and seeing them in a little human
Oh yes.
is great and amazing, but also seeing like, there kind of is like that family story too
Mhm.
of her parents. And I like how she's like, she knows she's adopted.
Yeah.
I appreciated that part of it.
Hmm.
And I think even the scenes with I was nervous when we got to Luke
Yeah.
because I didn't want it to be too much of the Luke show. But I think seeing how he knew this person, and someone made the comment, they're like, oh, after watching the show, we now know why Leia named her kid Ben.
Yeah. Hmm.
And because we never had that question answered of why did she call him in the first place?
Yeah. And that definitely sets that up, and it does it in a really good way. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was great because it answered questions
Hmm.
in a way that makes sense.
Hmm.
And is it necessary? No, but it fits well.
Yeah. Um, I also think that, well, you know how much I can't stand Vader right now, especially after being in Maul. But this is the best Vader we've ever had in Kenobi. Like that is the best version of Vader, in my opinion.
Yeah, because he's
Um,
actually doing something. He doesn't
yeah,
just show up as a villain that you know is going to survive.
yeah,
You've heard me say that Rogue One was like the first time I was ever like, oh, this is why people are afraid of him.
yeah, yeah, and we get more of that.
Yeah, we get
Yeah,
more of that. We see him being terrifying,
like
but
he
also
burns
kind of
people.
as this like cloak and dagger figure.
Hmm.
And that's what I think would be interesting is like, how does Vader become a person people know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and then like, I mean, he practically like burns Obi-Wan like in the one confrontation, and then Obi-Wan nearly kills him in the second confrontation. Like it's crazy. Like seeing Vader vulnerable but also like dangerous at that point is perfect. Like
Yeah,
because yeah,
because they both have a confrontation that they win
yeah, they
against
do.
the other.
Yeah. And they're pretty much evened up for the final confrontation in A New Hope. Like and then like looking back on that, when Vader has that line in A New Hope where he says, I sense a presence I haven't felt in a long time. I'm like, oh, like he's in his head, and like now he's thinking about that final fight that they had and those last words to each other. Like it's perfect.
Yeah, and I think hold on. I
You're
want
good.
to make sure I get the okay. I wanted to make sure I wasn't getting the aunt's name wrong.
Oh,
But
Baru.
seeing I don't want to be crucified during the show.
You're good.
Um, but seeing Baru and Owen and being like, oh, these two are badasses. Like, this is why they felt comfortable, like, leaving Luke with these people. And I don't know, I just like to see because there's, Leia's our only female character for a while. And
She is.
in the original one, we never really get to see what Baru and Owen are like. And so seeing,
Yeah.
them straight up like knowing that the day would come when Vader finds out about him
Yeah.
um, was pretty powerful. There's that. I think not every storyline was the strongest.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about a character and her story, and that's Riva. Like, what
Mhm.
did you think of that one?
I like the twist.
Okay.
The problem with the twist is we know that Vader survives.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That's true.
And I don't really like conclusions that are like teaching someone like how to love or like the power of friendship and like
Yes,
stuff like that.
I get it.
I don't really find them super believable
Yeah.
or satisfying. I think if they're done right over a long time, yeah. And I think
Yeah.
that we see with both like Anakin
Excuse
and
me.
Obi-Wan, like we see that they're unable to do the thing they feel like has to be done because
Yeah.
of like those emotions.
Hmm.
And it's one of those where it's like, oh, you're going to fight someone, you're about to kill the kid. Oh, you suddenly decide this isn't what you want to do. Uh,
Yeah.
it didn't build up the way I would want to. I would hate to see the chatter about that storyline when it first came out because I'm sure it's pleasant and not racist or sexist at all.
100% correct. Absolutely not.
But like I always just I want to learn more about the Sith, and we just never seem to get it.
Yeah, that is a thing. They keep teasing it. They keep saying, "Oh, it's coming," and I'm like, "Oh, so George R. R. Martin's writing this." Like, um, so yeah, I get what you mean. Like, you want to see those teases. I mean, you want to see more about them. Yeah. That is a thing. I mean, I like how like the Inquisitors aren't necessarily Sith. They're just like forced into this. It's
Mhm.
either they serve or they die. Um, it's kind of like a Dooku thing, in my opinion, where like Dooku wasn't really a bad guy. He just like the circumstances he was given, like Maul. Maul isn't a villain. He's more of an anti-hero if you think about it. So
Yeah, and again, at least this was a story where it's like, oh, a Jedi survived. That like makes sense
yes.
and like leads to things and wasn't the center of it. I would have liked some evidence that like Leia's force sensitive a little bit. Could have been fun.
Yeah, that would have been fun. Kind of tease it a little bit more instead of like just in the original trilogy. Yeah, that would have been pretty cool. Um,
But I went in completely blind. I had no clue when the show took place or
I'm
anything like that. So I did appreciate it
yeah,
being a surprise. And I think people probably could have sold me on it or like I knew it was about young Leia and I knew that like Hayden
yeah,
Christensen returned. And I was hoping that wouldn't be gimmicky, and it wasn't.
yeah,
I appreciate. But I think if someone would have been like, it's a young Leia story, I would have been on that in an instant years ago.
yeah, yeah. I agree. Um, yeah, 100%. I think the way they handle Leia's story and how it's like kind of the prominent story that brings Obi-Wan out of hiding was the smart way to do it because you didn't necessarily focus on Obi-Wan all the time like you focused on Leia, which was awesome. She's going to be at Farpoint. Just going to plug that real quick. I can't wait. Um, yeah, but yeah, no, it was it's a great show. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Like I really am glad that you enjoyed it.
And my DMs probably came out of complete like left field.
Yeah, like when you told me you were watching it, I was like, "Oh, really? Okay." Like, all
I think
right.
the first one was how does Obi-Wan not know how old Leia is?
Yeah, that was like the first one. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And I was like, I honestly have no idea because he is there for the birth and he hears Padme say Leia, like he literally hears her say the name.
He has conversations about this. But I'm
Yeah.
like, maybe, and I'm sure someone out there is like, well, it's probably because he's confused by the passage of time. And I'm like, he's a boy, mom. He only cares about Luke. And the show does not hide it, which I think is an interesting flaw for him
Mhm.
because he probably just sees Luke as a little Anakin. But he's
He
definitely a
does.
stalker.
He is kind of a stalker, yes. I will say this. I think that he has one of the best interactions with Leia at the end of the show, and it's when he's talking about the qualities that she got from both her mother and her father. And yeah, my wife's now crying because of that. Um it's such a great scene because the boy mom leaves at that point and he's just like the mom because he cares about both of them, but that scene where he talks to Leia is like one of my all-time favorite scenes in any Star Wars story. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and he has, a lot of character growth. And like I said, it really
Yeah.
explains the like, how do these people know this guy?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the legend definitely builds with him too. Um, I also feel like there's a character in the show who I love, but I also feel like is really out of place in it, and that's Kumail Nanjiani's character of
Oh my gosh,
Haja Estri.
he took me out of it.
Yeah,
He's too, I don't know. I think it was the voice he used.
and he's too jokey too, like for that.
Yeah, and he's hold on, I want to make sure before I say this.
I like him a
Yeah,
bit.
so he also took me out of the story in Fallout.
Oh, okay. I haven't gotten that far in season two, but
Yeah,
yeah.
he plays like he's like a knight, like a
Oh,
futuristic like knight sort of thing.
oh, for the Brotherhood of Steel.
Yeah, for the
Okay.
Brotherhood of Steel. And I think it's just because he uses his normal voice and everything.
Okay.
I feel like he could have really benefited from some sort of accent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, like, Manny and the Acolyte
Hmm.
is great because you see him and you're like, oh, this guy's me, the comedic relief, like this is Jason from The Good Place. And then it completely flips.
Yes.
And I kept waiting for a moment like that.
Yeah. That's that's kind of the tough thing about watching these shows that are a little bit older than like The Acolyte, because like you're used to like characters like the stranger like being that one way and then flipping themselves on their head. Even Andor does it a lot too. That's one of the complications, especially like with Kenobi, is like they didn't really explore that. Even the Mandalorian like kind of doesn't really explore that either. But yeah, like if like Kenobi had that opportunity to do it, and they should have. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's one of those moments where I'm like, I don't think you're acting. I think you just showed up on set as yourself
And he's just having fun.
and having fun, but it did take me out of the story.
I get it. I get it. Yeah, he's, as much as I love him, he is a character that will take you out of the story 100%. Yeah. I also feel like the um like one of the inquisitorial brothers, when he shows up with Riva, he kind of just is there and like doesn't really do a lot either. Like, yeah,
But yeah,
so
I mean, it takes the tension out of things when you know, oh, well, Vader's surviving this.
it does. It truly does. Even so, like in Jedi Survivor, there's a great Vader conflict in that game too, which Vader survives because he has to. But yeah, it kind of does take you out knowing like when they start inserting Vader, but like Vader starts getting his ass kicked, you're like, oh wait, he can't be defeated because he's got to sacrifice himself for Luke and for the greater good. I get that. Like when like Vader shouldn't have been used as much in this show as he was, in my opinion. But yeah, um, yeah.
One of the things that I've loved lately that I'm seeing on a lot of like science fiction
Hmm.
posts where someone will be mentioning some sort of thing and being like, well, how is this possible if physics is X, Y, and Z? And people just keep posting the Harrison Ford. It's not that type of movie.
Yes. Or that's not how the Force works. Or yeah, yeah,
And I think that's the problem with like hard sci-fi fans
yeah,
kind of being introduced to things that are more soft sci-fi or things where you really it's like guys just
yeah,
don't think about it. Because yeah, like two different types of fans, and I'm very much for the most part, it's not that type of movie.
yeah,
But I'm also gonna be like, how did you not know how Leia was?
yeah. I get that. Um, so I want to go back to using Vader in a bunch of things like before we
Yeah.
go. Um, Mandy, who's part of our community here on the Beacon, when we were talking about Maul, I was like, as soon as Vader showed up, it pissed me off. And Mandy's like, I love Vader. He's like one of my favorite characters of all time. I hate that they put him in that show. Like,
Well, we both were like, I groaned,
oh, I did too.
and then I DM you, and I
Oh
was
yeah.
so glad you had the same reaction.
Oh, 100%. 100%. As soon as I heard them say we'll let him deal with him, I was like, "Oh, great. It's going to be Vader." And then when I heard the breathing, I nearly threw my remote at my TV. I oh, it took me out of it so much. And I was already struggling to get back into it.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I've only seen praise for that show. It makes no sense.
I
And
enjoyed it. Yeah.
it probably is the only people watching it are probably like hardcore people.
Yeah, but even me as a hardcore fan, like I enjoyed it, but I didn't think it was amazing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It loses the power and the fear.
it does. It does.
And also, I mean, if you throw in like a not a nobody, but a yet unknown villain, then there is the tension of how does this end?
Yeah, like they should have just kept it to the Inquisitors and just left Vader out of it, in my opinion. So, yeah.
Because even with like Rogue One,
Hmm.
we pretty much went in thinking, yeah, we know how this is going to end.
Yeah.
And you still spent the same movie being like, well, what if there's a trick? What if they figure it out? And thinking, like, oh, Star Wars isn't going to do that.
Yeah.
And then it does, and it has still that emotional impact
Kill every person in the movie.
to kill everyone in the movie.
Yeah.
And to do it in, I hate to say, like, normal, non dragged out ways.
Yeah.
You know, like you throw a grenade into a ship
Yeah. And Bodhi's done.
and he's done.
Yeah.
And you don't have like the long extended, like, I'm going to give a monologue as I'm dying thing.
It's,
And not even
yeah.
like dying, doing something heroic, but not dying heroically.
Yeah. Like K2SO kind of has that moment, and so does Chirrut a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Baze kind of has that moment too. But yeah, like everybody else, just it's that like just done. Like like as soon as Bodhi falls, you know, like it's on. Like no one's safe.
No. But at the same time, you're still like, well, what if someone survives? Like, how are they? Because you do have like
Mhm.
that doubt in the back of your mind. Like, are they actually going to do this? Like, at the end of the day, like, this is Disney.
Yeah, yeah, they're not going to kill all these people.
And even like in Andor, like, A, you don't know, but B, you have characters you just don't see again.
Yeah,
And they're not interested in making sure everyone's story is wrapped up in a bow.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Mom Mothma's story is not wrapped up. Bix's story is definitely not wrapped up. Like,
I hope they leave her alone.
I want her to be left alone too. Like, yeah, I want her doing her own thing. Just I don't need to see her anymore. Like, she has baby Cassian. That's good. Like, yeah. So, anywho, that was fun.
I didn't break you this time. Oh,
No, no, no. Probably after the show though. Um, actually, you just did. Um, yeah. So that's it. For this evening. Thank you, B, for joining me again. It was fun.
always fun.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Anything else before we go?
No, that's it. I had a list and we went through our list.
Okay, okay. I tried to keep it fairly moving tonight. Tried. So that's it. We're done. Maybe a show next week, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know.
Keep everyone in suspense.
Exactly.
But you are like
Exactly.
Vader, you keep coming back.
Wow. Or Palpatine. You know, somehow I keep returning. Yeah. Anyway. Well, that's it. Have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you later. Goodbye.